It's no big deal.
Yeah. Just playing a game.
Mm-hmm.
There's Lich Street. Sounds ominous.
Lich Street.
Lich Street, yeah. The East Pickman Street. There we go.
It's the New Hampshire Liches. They're a big family over this way. It's fine.
What? What about New Hampshire? Did you know that that's where I live, or is that just
No.
a big coincidence?
Oh my god.
I just picked a place.
Sherlock Holmes is in the house. Look at that.
Making a guest appearance on your stream from
No
behind you.
secrets. Yeah.
Dear.
Yeah, so we should be errata free as well. It was printed with quite a few erratas that I've had to stick on the map.
I quite like how that looks.
Like these little. Now you don't know whether they're relevant for this game or another investigation.
I shall not let it bias me.
It probably costs you a few points for going to them when you don't need to. Yeah, so there's 9 scenarios, and some of the locations are used in more than one scenario.
Okay.
But it's set up so that you could do all sorts of things. Have you played Sherlock Holmes before, Nate?
No, I've watched reviews of it, but I've never actually played it.
Aha, it's good.
It is unqualified level of good. It's
Yeah.
just-
Yeah, I've heard good things about it. I'm disappointed that I haven't had the chance to play it.
Well, this is clearly going to be better than Sherlock anyway. Yeah.
I just have to do the obligatory advertise on every Discord server that's relevant.
Okay.
All right, let's go ahead and let's take a look at this game here. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
of the case. We discuss. One person takes the lead for each location, so you can go first, Mad, and we'll just decide together, and then one person will just take turns reading that entry from the book if it's there, and if it's not, we've just lost some time. There's apparently a few surprises as well. Apart from the time tracker, there's these cards here that reference things like keys. So you'll need to have this right numbered reference card to read the next section of an entry in the scenario book. We've got a notepad here. You can obviously keep notes yourself, and we need to log each location we go to and any evidence we find there, and then any leads that might help us. This will be important for scoring at the end. We're not going to get to 20 turns. I think we've only got about 15 here, so that's it really. So we've got an audio file for the introduction, and you can read along on the third page here.
Yeah, let me just pull that up real quick here. Oh, that's right. I put it in a different folder. That's right.
We'll just blame Emily.
A Grain of Evil by Hal Eccles. Introduction.
All right. So I got that all queued up here. So just make sure everyone can hear it.
Responding eagerly to a telegram from your friend and mentor, you rush to the Miskatonic University Orne Library. There is a warm summer breeze gently rustling the trees, allowing the dappled sunlight to flicker lightly onto the streets. You cross the university quadrant to reach a great Gothic entrance. Professor Henry Armitage, Miskatonic's erudite librarian, greets you at the polished wooden door to his office. He leans on his cane, his wrinkled face cracking into a smile. Well, then, I have an interesting little problem for us to explore. It's been some time since we exercised your deductive faculties, so how about a simple mystery to get you going again? Obviously, there is a chance that the events last evening
Did you send him a virus?
More than a simple crime.
It's a virus, yeah. It's already started. This investigation's gone pear-shaped.
Last summer, one can never be too careful. He shudders visibly upon alluding to his confrontation with the Watleys in the village of Dunwich.
Figured it out. Dan did it.
Armitage settles in a chair, adjusting the violets on his desk. Inspector Garrison called over breakfast this morning and precipitated my note to your good self.
All right.
It seems the inspector is at a loss
we can't hear it, so.
And requires our specialist assistance. Last evening, as you may have noted from this morning's edition of the Arkham Advertiser, a disturbance occurred on West High Street. It was a pleasant enough evening, and at 7 o'clock the streets were relatively full. A young woman, well-dressed and of seemingly good health, collapsed on the sidewalk after emerging in a state of distress from the Uptown Park. A small crowd gathered to assist the young lady. An orderly from St. Mary's Hospital and his wife stooped to revive her, and a policeman was found. The orderly noticed a growing crimson stain seeping onto the woman's blouse. He slit the garment free with his pocket knife. At once the horrific nature of a wound in the lady's chest was apparent, and he stemmed the steadily increasing flow of blood. I am happy to report that the disaster was averted by his quick thinking. An ambulance arrived in good time to take her to the hospital, and they have managed to stabilize her condition. The librarian pauses to sip coffee from a delicate cup. The policeman assumed this was an attack by an unknown assailant, until the woman regained consciousness momentarily in the ambulance. She raved nonsensical syllables before crying out that the trees were alive. Whilst dealing with the mysterious lady, The policeman was sharp-eyed enough to spot a man lingering around in the crowd of onlookers. The man was acting in a furtive way, watching the proceedings with a curious detachment. He was tall, over 6 feet, with a worn brown suit and dark hair, and a distinctive birthmark under his left eye. When the policeman called out to the man, he fled the scene. Being preoccupied with the lady, the policeman was not able to pursue, and noted a description in his pocketbook. Armitage sits back, the leather of his chair creaking. He steeples his fingers. The identity of both the woman and this mysterious fugitive remain a mystery. It is also for us to determine if there are forces beyond the mundane at work. You better get going. Let Garrison's men take care of the crime scene. They do get rather protective. Before you set off, Armitage says, remember, if you need help, come see me at my home. I'm unlikely to be in my office when working a case. Seeping onto the woman's blouse. He slit the garment free with his pocket knife. At once, the horrific nature of a wound in the lady's chest was apparent, and he stemmed the steadily increasing flow of blood. I'm happy to report that the disaster was averted by
we wanted to do it that way so you could actually hear it, because it's really quiet, like in the game itself. So
they have managed to stabilize her condition. The librarian pauses to sip coffee from a delicate cup. The policeman assumed this was an attack by an unknown assailant, until the woman regained consciousness momentarily in the ambulance. She raved nonsensical syllables before crying out that the trees were alive. Alive! Whilst dealing with the mysterious lady, the policeman was sharp-eyed enough to spot a man lingering around in the crowd of onlookers. The man was acting in a furtive way, watching the proceedings with a curious detachment. He was tall, over 6 feet, with a worn brown suit and dark hair, and a distinctive birthmark under his left eye. When the policeman called out to the man, he fled the scene. Being preoccupied with the lady, the policeman was not able to pursue, and noted a description in his pocketbook. Armitage sits back, the leather of his chair creaking. He steeples his fingers. The identity of both the woman and this mysterious fugitive remain a mystery. It is also for us to determine if there are forces beyond the mundane at work. You better get going. Let Garrison's men take care of the crime scene. They do get rather protective. Before you set off, Armitage says, remember, if you need help, come see me at my home. I'm unlikely to be in my office when working a case.
Alrighty. They mentioned the Orne Library. Yep. Yeah, you're... Yep. Inspector Garrison is another... I'm going to assume anything in bold is probably worth noting. Gotcha, okay. Okay, alright. Well, let's do this. Pretty much, yeah, that's what it sounds like. Yeah. Seemingly good health collapsed on the sidewalk after emerging in a state of distress from the Uptown Park. Yeah, that was kind of my first inkling. Alternatively, we could go to the St. Mary's Hospital and see if the supposed victim is still there. Yes. It doesn't say anywhere. It's right over here. Here, like right on it, yep.
He's in his mid-40s, and his clean-shaven head amplifies the size of his thick horn-rimmed glasses. He allows a cursory nod when you tell him the reason for your visit. Of course, Armitage told me to expect you, he says. You explained that you are investigating the mysterious case of the woman brought into the hospital after a collapse at the park. It's not my case, but let's head up to the wards and see what we can find out. Sutton leads you through the white halls, weaving in and out of the foot traffic. On the way up, he asks whether Armitage expressed interest in the lights dancing around the nearby Emperor Home. Some of the hospital workers have seen them, and the old building is supposed to be abandoned. When you tell him that Armitage hadn't mentioned it, the doctor shrugs. You arrive at Ward 6, and Dr. Sutton makes his way down a row of beds, stopping at the foot of one containing an attractive young woman. The woman is sleeping soundly, and Sutton lifts the chart from the end of the bed and consults the notes. We still don't have her name. She is listed here as Jane Doe. Strange. The wound on her chest was deep, likely created by a sharp blade, cutting into the flesh. However, 5 of the upper ribs on the left side were also fractured during her incident. It is as though someone removed, or was attempting to remove, something from her chest cavity. Most unusual. Dr. Noyes conducted the surgery to reset the bones. Yeah, that's pretty spooky. Speaking of unusual, Noyes cleared away a good deal of brownish-coloured mucus from the wound.
That's
oh, man. I don't even ask how. He sent a sample to the lab. The lab assistant was sent to the university library to consult medical treatises, as they were unsure of what the substance consisted. Pascal possibly, knows about strange things as well. As Sutton ends his speech, a nurse arrives to administer a shot. No sooner is the needle withdrawn from the woman, she thrashes in her bed. Sutton doesn't look concerned, and he pats the nurse on the shoulder. The discomfort will quickly pass. Then, shockingly, the woman's eyes snap open, and she screams, a piercing shriek. Sutton calls for help as the woman raves madness, spittle dripping from her chin. Only at Bayfriars. But no, not there. The trees, why are they walking? Edward! Where is my Edward? Why is the trees have eyes? Edward,
the hills had eyes.
We were supposed to meet at the bell. Why are we here, Edward? It hurts, Edward. Stop it! Stop it! Steps in and holds the woman's shoulders, talking to her in a calm, soothing voice. There you go. After a few minutes of delirium, the woman slips into a peaceful rest. She's really been through the mill, Sutton says. The wound will heal just fine given time. However, as you have seen her firsthand, there are some scars that are beyond our ability to repair. You have learned all you can from the good doctor. Her effects were taken for examination by the police. I think they were taken over to the criminologist, Dr. Corbett. Please let me know if you discover her identity. Here we go. I'd like to contact family members. She needs someone to look after.
Okay. Nice.
Well, okay. I hope you're all taking notes.
Yeah, I got. So there's the Emperor home. There's the library, Pasquale, or something like that. Yeah, and Dr. Corbett. No evidence though. Oh, the deep wound and brown,
and also broken ribs and browny mucus.
Broken ribs, brown mucus. Don't know if that's evidence, but
the mad ravings.
Oh, they were. Yeah, I think that's evidence. That's evidence.
Like, who's Edward?
Okay. And I mentioned Mr. Corbett as well.
Yeah, I couldn't fit that on the text.
So Corbett has the effects.
He also has an old estate he's looking to get rid of.
Yes.
So there's the Emperor home, Dr. Corbett. You can copy these notepads and make more of them if you want some. You can have one each.
Sorry, I literally have a paper notebook in front of me.
I'll take this one because I've scribbled on it. And we've got this newspaper as well, haven't we? Is there any clues in the newspaper? The wealthiest citizens, isolated event.
There's things going on down at the docks. Something strange going down at the docks. Also, some dead people who made moonshine.
Moonshine death. In the property section, they've got the Emperor home again. Would the owners of Emperor home be sure to secure the property as workers from the hospital have seen the lights on the 3rd floor?
Well.
Yeah.
Sounds like we're going to the 3rd floor of the Emperor home at some point. Is it just a red herring?
It could be.
Yeah, it's possible.
Do you want to go next, Nate? We've got plenty of leads.
Yeah, I know. I was just going to say, they mentioned talking to the police, too. I know Dr. Armitage suggested otherwise.
I think he said don't go to the crime scene. I think he said that the police like to deal with that themselves. But you could go to the station and see Inspector Garrison.
Yeah.
So that's D32 for the police station.
Yeah, let's do that.
Cool. Right. Tracker went forward 1 for going to the hospital. We're going to the police station. So. Where's that then? D30. Don't I say D32? No.
Yeah, right there.
Yep.
Do you want to find that on the book, Nick?
Yeah. Let's see here. D32. Oh, did I pass it? I did. One of Garrison's sergeants, the young Mickey Tull, saunters over you and attempts to make himself useful in his superior's absence. You looking for Garrison? He's out on a bust over at some diner on the other side of the river. You ask him if there's any information regarding the suspected attack on the woman in Uptown Park. Not much to add. The lad's been going door to door. The only thing any of them have reported is some of the members of the Silver Twilight Lodge hanging around the old Emperor home. You make a mental note that you might want to talk to Sebastian Lyman.
All right.
Who is the policeman who first visited the scene in Uptown? Well, that'd be Matthew Keene. He's not on shift today, I'm afraid.
Lyman.
So that's the second reference to the Emperor home now.
Yeah. I think it's leading us a bit there. Lyman and Keene. Matthew Keene. Right. Back to one. So, Matthew Keene's not on shift, but I bet he lives in Arkham.
Right.
Who's Sebastian Lynham again?
It just said to make mental note of him.
I'm guessing he's part of the Silver Twilight Lodge.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be my assumption too, yeah.
Twilight and officer. Right. And Corbett was the pathologist, was he?
Yes, I believe so.
Yes. He's at D45. Criminologist and forensic expert Herbert Corbett. Right, so choices definitely wants us to go there. The library, Dr. Corbett, and who was the other one? Pascal,
whoever that is.
We can go to Sebastian.
L18, Order of the Silver Twilight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sebastian Lyman is an undercover informant. Provide information on the cult and its leaders, Carl Sanford. Go, we've got a mole.
So Pascal's an occultist and spiritualist. He has extensive knowledge of the great old ones. What are they? I don't.
Yeah, not sure.
Armitage doesn't want us to know. Clearly, he's meddles in forces. He would be better off to avoid. Right.
So where to?
Where to? All right. I think we're going to go to that Emperor home. I think we just got to check that
sounds
out.
like a good idea.
Where would that?
Just going to straight in. We're not even going to have a chat with the guy about the Silver Lodge first. Just going guns blazing.
Yeah, that's shoot first, ask questions later.
All right.
This is America. That's how we work around here.
Where would we find the Empire home? And this is it. Is it a hotel or is it? It's just a house, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not
Private
sure.
residential tenement. Student.
Can't see it.
The unvisited isle. Randolph the Junkman. Yeah. Sports school clubs.
Ooh, the School of Positive Thinking.
Need me some of that.
Yeah, right.
I'm still keen on this bakery, you know. I'm not gonna.
Oh man, there's a gift shop as well. We should definitely see them before we leave. How are we going to find this Emperor home?
Well, perhaps we don't know where it is yet. Perhaps we should go and talk to
It's
the
near
chap.
the hospital. It is near the hospital, isn't it?
They can see it, right? So where was the hospital? It was here. Did it give a direction? I don't think it did. It just said they could see it.
It's U1. I think it's across. Well, it might be C8. Or it might be C24, or it could be any of the U's. Or it might be right next. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, we're not sure where that is. So my turn, because I don't know where it is. I think we should go to the pathologist.
Okay.
Which is Dr. Henry Corbett, D45. Here we go. You rap on the door to Herbert Corbett's lab, and after a moment you are greeted by his helper. He recognizes you and shows you through to Corbett's workroom. The workroom is a chemistry lab with several Bunsen burners blazing away. Herbert is huddled over a bench. On his head he wears a magnifying apparatus, which he lifts to greet you. Welcome to my criminology laboratory. He shakes your hand. Sensing that this man is kept very busy, you don't waste any time with pleasantries and ask about the attack on the woman in Uptown Park. Ah, yes, a strange one. I believe that I can shed some light on her lodgings, if nothing else. Corbett reveals a brown cardboard box. Garrison left these for me to examine. The blouse, as you can see, is saturated with blood from a wound made in her chest. I was interested to note that the blouse was not damaged before she was administered first aid. This suggests that the blouse was put on the woman after the injury occurred. More revealing is the lady's purse, which contains an address here. He rummages around in the box. This is a bill from Renee's boarding house, and a receipt confirming that she had paid for next month's rent in advance. There is a receipt as well from a bookstore. Meredith's used books. $3 received with thanks for Coleridge's collected poems. To be inscribed on the inside cover with to Edward with all my love. Me.
Oh, well, ain't that sweet?
Yeah. So there's an Edward. Coleridge's collected Meredith used books. That's another clue. And what else did we get there? And Rennie's boarding house. Oh. Whoops, I've just deleted all the clues there.
Interesting. Are we at the right point of the day tracker, by the way? The time tracker?
We're in the afternoon of day one.
Okay.
Books. Rennie boarding.
So, someone stabbed her and thought, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll put a blouse on her and push her into the road where there are witnesses.
That
seems a bit weird,
legit,
right?
No, that's normal, right?
It seems overly complicated, I'm not going to lie.
It wouldn't be a Lovecraft plot if it wasn't overly convoluted, right?
I forgot to do the police station one, didn't I? Alright, I'll do that while you guys decide where you're going next.
See?
Do you want to go to the lodge?
I want to go to the boarding house. I want to find out who she was, or is. And potentially even meet Edward. Perhaps she lives with Edward. Perhaps they are lodging together.
It's possible.
Or perhaps Renee has met Edward and can give a description of him. Possibly he's even the man with the birthmark. Who knows? Let's see if Renee's boarding house is in here. Like,
Not seeing it.
yeah, it's not looking. Hotels? Doesn't feel quite right.
Yeah, it's not even there either.
Oh, boarding houses. There you go. Oh, Rennie's. F16. There you go.
Oh, that's where we're going.
Is everyone happy with a bit of F16?
Go for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Somewhere around here.
What am I up to? D. L. F. Go back. F14. Oh, hold on. Here we go. F16. Okay. The 3-story clapperboard house on Litch Street is neat and presentable. A small sign advertises that Rennie's boarding house has vacant rooms. You were greeted at the front desk by one of the Rennie twins, Thomas. A friendly man in his 30s with a mop of dark hair. Are you wanting a room to rent? Are you wanting to rent a room? You described the woman in the hospital who was attacked, explaining that she had a receipt for payment for one of his rooms. Ah, here we go. Well, that sounds very much like Martha Modine. Modine. She has been with us for over a year now. I believe she works over on Main Street in one of the stores. I do hope she is okay. She's got a kind heart, always willing to do a kindness for a stranger. She's smitten as well, having recently fallen in love with a man named Mr. Hartwell.
Ooh.
Don't care for him too much. Surly eyes makes my dog bark every time he is around. My dogs never bark. Clearly, young Martha can see redeeming qualities, I suppose.
Oh, hold up. Anytime that someone says, my dogs never bark, their dogs always bark. Let's be real here.
Yeah, I'm not reading too much into that. You ask if you may see Martha's room, and he agrees, you brandishing a pass key. Martha's room is modest but well kept and pleasantly decorated. On a small bookcase, there are several works of poetry. A photograph in a frame on the mantel catches your eye. You walk over to it and examine it. It is the picture of a lady and gentleman, and there can be no doubt that this is the woman that Armitage described. The couple gazes lovingly at one another, with that faraway, dreamy look of a movie romance. The man has a small birthmark under his left eye. Thomas says, "That's them, Martha and Hartwell," though he looks as though butter wouldn't melt in his mouth, unlike her. You ask for more information on Hartwell, and Rennie tells you that Hartwell has been seeing Martha for several weeks, and that he has a house on the lower south side on East Saltonstall Street. Well, that's blown the case wide open. So we've got Martha Modine is dating Edward Hartwell, presumably.
Mm-hmm.
She works somewhere on Main Street. I'm not sure that's going to be that helpful. And he is the man with the birthmark who was obviously very concerned and has a house on lower south side on East Saltonstall Street. Anything else?
I don't think so.
No. Alright, cool.
So it's morning of day 3. We've gone to Rennie's boarding to check things out. I think we've found Edward. We think he's a Mr. Hartwell, yeah?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Is he in the directory?
He might be.
Quick flick through. He is. There's an E Hartwell under L26. There is also an M Hartwell under F66, but I think we're going with Edward. Right?
Yeah.
Because we know he lives on East. What was that? Slatenstall Street.
And is that in L?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So L. If you want to go there, by the way, this is not someone else's choice. L26 is
it's
the hot.
right over here.
Okay, got it. Yeah, and Ponk. You're choosing that one, Nate.
20. I think I missed it. There we go. Ooh. Edward Hartwell's home is average and unassuming. A cat draws your attention as you step forward to knock on the door. The poor creature's eyes are wide, and its back is arched, its hair standing on end. It's hissing in the most fearsome way. You knock on the door, and when there is no reply, you knock again. As minutes tick by, you decide that a closer inspection of the rear of the property might be in order. After all, if a lady was injured, there is a chance that someone may have attempted to injure Mr. Edward Hartwell as well. The yard at the back of the building is well tended, and the fence is new and painted. The back door is unlocked. Stealing inside quickly so you're not to be observed, you find yourself in a clean and tidy kitchen. The cutlery and plates are neatly washed and stacked on the drying board. The attention to tidiness continues in each room. A pile of mail addressed to Edward Hartwell sits on a small table near the front door. Remembering the cat, you discover a small cellar door in the kitchen and head down into the basement where a bare, flickering bulb illuminates a small workroom. Discarded under a workbench is a small, broken packing crate stamped with the Miskatonic Museum's address. On the bench lies a wickedly sharp-bladed dagger etched with unusual symbols on its wooden hilt. The razor-sharp blade reveals flecks of a red stain. Next to the dagger is a bowl, also stained dark red. Oh, that's not unassuming at all.
Yeah. What could you possibly put in a bowl? I don't know.
This sounds like a smoking gun.
Tomato juice.
Your stomach lurches at the uncomfortable thought that these are the implements that injured the woman at the hospital. A few pieces of old parchment with an indecipherable cramped handwriting lie scattered nearby. Placed next to the parchment is an open wooden box containing 4 large grain seeds. Each is about the length of your fingernail and jet black. Leaving everything as you found it, you exit the property the way you came. Oh, that was weird. And then it says, see note to Edward, page 7.
There.
Maybe it's in here?
Yeah, it's the picture.
Oh. Let's see, Edward, I am glad it all... I can't really read that.
Went as we planned.
Planned?
Yeah. I will arrive in town Sunday by train and meet you at Bell's Diner or B's Diner.
I think that's B's Diner, yeah.
Yeah. I will collect it from you there, so be sure it is kept warm. That'll be the tomatoes then. Everyone loves some warm tomatoes.
Tomatoes are disgusting.
Yeah, and black fingernail seeds. Yeah, that's good.
I guess it's veganuary, right?
Yeah.
Lord.
Well, okay, wait. What day is it? We can tell.
So we're
on day 2.
Afternoon of day 2.
But what day is it?
Well, the investigating started on June the 30th.
That's a Sunday. So had they already met?
Probably. Once the paper say. The paper.
So they are going to be in town on Sunday and meet at B's Diner.
Mm-hmm.
So we've missed the meeting. Is that right?
Looks like it, but we can still See if someone knows something about it. It's definitely a clue, isn't it? Bees Diner.
And where is Bees Diner?
Ooh.
Also, the packing crate. Where was it addressed to? Was it the museum?
Miskatonic Museum. Yeah.
Wasn't there something in the paper about that? Something going on at the University Exhibit Museum has been. So there was a much anticipated new series of exhibitions at the museum delayed until next week due to an unforeseen problem with a missing artifact. Dr. Robert Gladding, junior curator at the museum, spoke to our reporter yesterday. He confirmed that at least one of the new artifacts on loan from the Boston Heritage Center has disappeared. At first, it was suspected that the artifact had been misplaced, but on examination from Boston, the police were notified. Gladding said, although theft is unlikely as the artifact in question has little value, we cannot rule it out at this time. Investigations continue and now work is underway to change the exhibit in order to compensate for the missing items. Blah, blah, blah. So we could go to the University Exhibit Museum option and talk to Robert Gladding, who may know something about what this actually is. Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah, we've got quite a few leads as well. So that's Gladding there. Gladding. We've done those two. Medrith used books as well.
Yes.
Find out what book that was. And Matthew Keane and Sebastian Lyman.
Yeah.
The Mole.
I feel like the used books might be just an extra stop that's not useful, but I'm not sure.
I mean, I definitely feel we're being sort of led towards the museum. I think that's the subtler clue. And it's in the newspaper as well, which... Yeah, I want to know.
You've also you've got that guy, the occultist, right?
Oh yeah.
He might be able to tell you more about this knife, although specifically probably not particularly helpful in this instance. You don't know whether he knows that you've seen the knife. So, but Pascal might be able to tell you some interesting stuff as well.
That's true. Says Pascal. I think that Pascal and Lyman might be saying similar things, just from a different angle. I want to know. I want to know what the Twilight Lodge is doing. L18.
Okay.
Right.
It's over here.
Yeah. Let's just copy this. It's just next door. Shouldn't take us that long. Well, it took us several hours to get there.
we had to stop for a snack. Okay. All this talk of tomatoes got me hungry.
Sebastian, well, this is interesting. It's just next door to the lodge as well. Sebastian Lyman, Armitage Mole inside Silver Twilight Lodge, can be seen through the window of his home. You tap 3 times on the porch screen as previously instructed, and a moment later, the immaculately groomed man comes to the door, absent-mindedly twirling his waxed moustache. He glances furtively around to ensure that there is no one in sight, before waving you inside. I'd assumed you were here about the Emperor Home. Carl Sanford and his inner circle have been there almost every night this week. They were attempting to contact far beyond you get my meaning. Don't ask me what, I know better than to ask. What I do know, however, is that they failed. Even the Beyond apparently doesn't want to be bothered by their likes. He continues, Carl was in a filthy mood when I saw him today. Thankfully, when he descends into one of his melancholias, he hides away for a while, clinging to his secondary interest, preferring the old drink or 2 or 3 or 4, if you know what I mean. I think they are going to leave the Emperor Home alone for the time being. He will come back to his tricks again soon. Now you have to go. Carl could surprise me with a visit day. If you're caught here, that would be the end of both of us. Well, that was
That up. Red herring.
Emperor Home. It was just another. Well, so we got a bit more information about the lodge trying to summon something.
Mm-hmm.
But perhaps doesn't relate to our current case.
Maybe.
I can't see a link personally.
L18.
So the only reference to Emperor is Emperor W.
Oh? Is that a person? Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah.
U41, is that next to the hospital?
U41 is like on the south west corner of the map here.
Yeah, it's here.
I guess that would be visible from the hospital, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like it.
What is Emperor? Is there two emperors? No,
That's
just
it,
one.
I think.
There's definitely no other home lift. It must be the home of
someone
Emperor.
Called Mr. Emperor, I guess.
The Emperor.
That's not a pretentious name at all.
Yeah.
No. Get you in all sorts of trouble. Okay, so that's an option. It's your call, Mad. We got museum and Emperor Home. Oh, yeah, we've had several encouraging
I honestly
nods
think
to the home.
I just feel like the Emperor Home is a red herring. It's not going to take us towards what who these people were, or who is Edward, who is I don't know why were they going through a ritual? The ritual doesn't appear to have anything to do with the home. It happened in the upper park area, right? So that's not. Is that nearby? I don't think it is. Is it?
Uptown Park is.
Uptown Park. Where is that?
I think it's U60.
Vicinity, right?
U67. This thing.
Feel.
I don't know.
I don't know. It doesn't feel related to me. I'm not saying the plot's not pushing us that way. Just sometimes. I want to investigate the museum and see what this knife is about and why they were doing. Because they might be able to give you some history, which might give you some insight into what they're trying to do next.
Take us away.
Okay, let's find the museum. I guess.
Local culture. Yeah.
You tell me. I'm not so great with this.
University Exhibit Museum.
That's the one. C24.
Okay.
That's right across the street.
Are we on day 3 now? I have been logging it. Yeah, this is day 3.
Okay. You happy with me just starting to read?
Yeah.
Okay. The University Exhibit Museum is closed, so the iron-studded doors are fastened tight. On a hunch, you head around the side of the building to the loading dock. There are several workers and a policeman lingering on the dock. The policeman is taking statements from 2 men dressed as watchmen. To one side, nervously pacing, is an academic type in a dust-covered suit. You approach the academic, who introduces himself as Dr. Robert Gladden, a junior curator with the museum. I can't believe this has happened. This exhibit was going to be the thing that secured me the job of senior curator. Now Richard is going to get the post for sure. As he wrings his hands, you learn that both he and Richard Jedry, Jedry, the other junior curator, have been competing for the vacancy of a senior position. Both were given exhibits to display. A well-respected curator is arriving from Boston to present the board with his opinion as to which man should be promoted. Who would steal a 12th century ritual bowl? Except someone wishing to sabotage my exhibit. It's not worth anything to anyone, despite its age. There were very few people who even knew of the bowl's arrival. Just the University Museum staff and the staff of Rare Books and Maps. What will Mr. Ingram think? I'd better send a message over to the Bancroft Arms to let him know. With that, Gladding hurries away. So, Jedry has motive to steal it, just to be annoying. But more interestingly, someone else knew about this and possibly told Ed that it was coming.
Bancroft Arms as well.
So who's at the staff of Rare Books and Maps who would potentially be leading Edward astray?
Or is it just Edward himself? Does Edward work at the bookstore?
Perhaps.
Do we know that?
Well, they did say he worked over. Where is the bookshop? Because that might tie up with
Historical Society,
where he worked.
Financial institutions.
And you've got Mr. Ingram at the Bancroft Arms.
Yeah, that's N34, the Bancroft Arms Hotel.
I'm guessing Ingram is the curator from Boston. And Edward did have a message from someone saying they would him. So he's sort of travelled much like us into town.
Stores. What's the book place called again?
Rare Books and Maps.
It's got to be here. There we go. N24 for that.
Okay.
Oh, it's over here. N24.
That would probably tie up with where he worked, right?
Uptown. Is that Uptown?
Yeah.
Uptown is U, actually. It's at the bottom of the map.
Wait, what? So it's not where he worked. Okay. Oh no, he worked at West Saltonstall Street. That's nowhere near it. Yeah. Okay. Oh, so there's someone else involved.
Where's Medrith's books, actually?
Good point.
M50.
M50.
That's like somewhere over here.
It's next to Northside Park. Is that N?
It's M50.
Oh, M. Sorry.
Yeah, it's right here.
Well.
Is this where we draw just some sort of occult symbol?
It's all pointing at one particular spot on the...
And where was the bank? Where's the Bancroft?
Everyone get out the red yarn and the
yeah.
Yeah. You can draw lines on it, I think.
I think it was tab. If you use tab, you can measure stuff.
It's just that's a distance measure.
Okay. Well, interesting.
N34 is the Bancroft Arms. Okay.
M34?
There, N34, that's the Bancroft Arms there. That bluey... Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, so where to?
Well, who could possibly have planned to steal this dagger and bowl? Well, actually, probably just the bowl, right? So the dagger's separate.
As far as we know, yes.
Okay.
I really want to know what book she bought Edward.
Didn't it say it was like a book of Coleridge poems or something?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I think it was just a romantic gift. I don't think it was special. I could be wrong, but...
Yeah, I got that inkling too. I feel like the bank is a good lead. What was the... Yeah, I think that the Emperor home is probably just a red herring for sure.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It feels like the sort of thing that's a plot hook, whatever the next thing is.
Yeah. Did we go to the library already?
Nope. Got 2 days left. Well, 2.5 days.
So we've all got 2 choices left each.
Whose go is it? It's yours, yeah, Nate.
Yeah. Let's go to rare books and maps. Let's go to N24. Alright, yeah, let's go there.
Okay.
Oops. Alright. The small, wizened woman sits behind the counter of rare books and maps and squints over her half-moon spectacles. You describe to her the theft from the museum. Yes, I might be able to help you with that. I was asked by one of the junior curators of the museum to set aside several tomes of ancient mythology for him. He wanted to conduct additional research to make his latest exhibits ring with authenticity. You ask about the bowl that was taken to the museum, and the woman nods and pulls out a slim pamphlet. Titled From Nakotis to Present. Ooh, that's not cryptic. This is what was taken then? They didn't tell me. Well, see here. That bowl is a Cathoa birthing dish from Central Europe. I don't know how to say that word. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce that word. Dating all the way back from the Crusades. She shows you a page with a hand-drawn pencil sketch of a bowl. It says here that the bowl is used in tribal ceremonies of certain depraved Germanic sects. It is used to hold and protect a new life brought into this world through birth. Strange. It doesn't look big enough to hold a baby.
How about a tomato?
Definitely. Yeah. We got this. We got this.
Of Attack of Killer Tomatoes all over. Yeah. It's obvious.
Man, so the bowl, cathotic bowl.
Sorry, it was used to protect newly birthed life. Is that interesting? Okay, and then she had spoken to a junior curator, but I'm guessing it's not Gladwell or whatever his name was. It's probably Jedry.
Yeah,
right?
Jedry. Yeah. Let's confront the Jedders. Where is he? G. Is it Jedny?
Jedry, I believe.
Oh, with a J, not a G.
Yeah, J.
Jedry R.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, F54.
I think you need to move the timer on a couple of slots as well.
It's the evening of day 3. What did I say? It was F54. Jedri. Is that right?
Yeah, F54.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Then F. There we go. Richard Jedri is an amiable man in his late 20s, dressed in a bohemian manner. He tells you that he has nothing to do with the missing. You further note that he appears sincere about Gledding's distress. He confirms that the judge of the exhibition was to be Mr. Victor Ingram from the Boston Museum.
Ingram.
He's at the Boston Arms. Is he the Boston Arms?
Bancroft Arms. Yeah.
Yeah, it's N34. Judge from Boston Museum. He seems sincere, my foot.
Yeah, right.
Right. The first thing he does is protest his innocence.
Look at that woman. Does she look like she's not been affected? You can tell from the shoe in the corner that these were tomato vines.
Oh no. Right. Well, I mean, Ingram's got to be the next stop. If he knew enough of this, potentially.
Well, we wanted to go to that location for another reason too, didn't we?
I think it was just pointed out. Maybe it was a way of skipping over going to see. I think Gendry is effectively Duff lead, which is a bit unfortunate.
I don't think so. I think he did it.
You just think he did? I think it's entirely possible.
There's 2 F-53s on this map.
Is it really?
Yeah. F-53, F-53, F-54. It's all the same building. Yeah.
Oh yeah, how odd.
Put all the points on it and look like a plant.
Alright, are we on day 4 now?
Yeah. When we go to the next place, it'll be day 4. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to head there in the morning. Well, what do you want to do, guys? Do you want to interrogate Ingram, or do you want to do something different?
Yeah, so Ingram's there.
We could try and find where Hart works and see if he's there. I don't know if that's reasonable.
So yeah,
we'll have to do a bit of cross-referencing to figure out where it's probably doable. So if you look at West Saltonstall Street, you could just look up businesses on that address, but it's probably a bit...
directory's not that helpful with that.
Yeah, it's just a reverse lookup though, isn't it? Like you say, what we're here forever doing that.
It is all in the alphabetical section too, if that helps. You can just search for it by letter, yeah. It has all the locations too.
Okay, I'll let someone else be the...
I don't mind. I mean, Ingram seems like follow. Is there anything in the paper we're missing? Victor Ingram is scheduled to arrive in Arkham any day. Curated with the best exhibit, blah, blah, blah. Stuff. Last night saw the birth of twins, not just for one family, 3. That's 6 babies. Got a birthing ball. Congrats to the Smiths, Baxters, and Ahoff. AHOS. These families have added 6 members to our community. I mean, we've got a birthing bowl, but not sure how helpful that is.
There were 4 seeds as well.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder.
Wanted women, earn good money making bungalow aprons in your spare time.
To Aladdin Apron Company. There you go. I've been looking for a new line of work.
LP, it must not happen again. Down RJ. Jedry? Know what this means. Who LP might be.
Who's down?
Don't know.
Baxter's and Ahos.
Oh.
I think that's just going to lead us in a circle.
Yeah. We don't really have 3 clues to waste. It's not Sherlock where you could just kind of do it, right?
Well, I think Bancroft is a good lead. The Bancroft Arms to see Ingram. Otherwise, we could try and go. We were given clues early on to go to the library and Pasquale, and the Emperor home that we haven't followed up.
I'm keen to go to see Ingram personally. So if you're all right with that.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I think that was N34, didn't we just?
Yep.
It's this one here, N34.
Yeah, it's that blue-looking one there.
The Bancroft Arms Hotel established associate with a epidemic. It is strange to you that someone of apparent high standing at the Boston Museum would be willing to hang his hat at such a cheap hotel. Stepping into the poorly lit lobby, you ring them. It is answered eventually by a sweating man in a stained shirt. Without looking at you, he snorts and pushes the ledger in your direction. You only have single beds, 90 cents a night. You push aside the ledger and ask him about Victor Ingram. He protests about the anonymity of his clientele, and you slam your palm down violently on the insisting you are a friend of Victor, there to retrieve his belongings. This simple intimidation tactic has the desired effect, and he tosses you a pass key and mutters, "Room 29, why don't you clean up the mess while you're at it?" Room 29 is in such a state that it must have been vacated in a hurry. You search every nook and cranny, and under the mattress you find a sheaf of notepaper. The paper seems to be text hand-copied from a book. You find page after page of neatly copied entries. The pages describe a ritual of the cult of Shub Nigaran, a very gruesome act to bring a spawn into our world using a grain of seed consumed by a human. Once the spawn is incubated in the host, it will eventually be cut free and released. The host is then sacrificed, and the blood of the victim used to nourish the spawn. A few of the pages reveal sketches of artifacts. You suppose a museum curator may know something about these drawings.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
There we go.
Our lady has a baby.
But why does Dr. Ingram have this note in his room? That's odd.
Well, that was who was meeting at the Bee's Diner, wasn't it? Nigora. I can't spell it.
Well, geez.
Well, yeah. Okay. So the dagger's not important. The bowl is. That's the bowls. So the bowls for holding tiny baby plants.
For tomatoes.
Yeah.
Tomato. Yeah, baby tomatoes. Sorry.
It was like cherubs or cherry tomatoes.
No, I think we're buffalo. heart-sized tomatoes.
Oh man, it's a beef heart tomato, isn't it?
That's
Is that
it.
what
Yeah.
oh wow, creepy.
So did I say?
Well, I'm not quite sure where we go from there. It's sort of like, here's the plot. What do you want to do about
it?
Yeah. So basically, we know what happened, right? Basically, somebody took the bowl and had some tomato juice and poured it into the bowl with the seeds and grew a tomato plant.
Obvious. It's so obvious.
Yeah.
Why didn't I think of it
Oh
before?
man, you've nailed this.
and just her getting attacked on the street was just random. There we go. Case solved, boys. Let's go home.
Right. Whose turn? Is your turn, Nate?
Oh, jeez. Well, knowing the Twilight Lodge, they probably have something to do with this. I would assume that Ingram might even be a part of the lodge.
It's possible.
That's possible. Let's see other leads we have going on here.
So Pascal should know about Shub Niggurath.
Yeah.
Yep.
Martha, we got the Bees Diner to confirm that
Edward. Yeah, that would confirm Edward had met Ingram potentially.
Yeah. That's probably useful for evidence. So the way this works, we'll have to answer some questions at the end, so we may get extra clues from locations, even though we think we know what's happened.
Did it say where Pasquale was? So we could go.
Pasquale is on the Allies list. Occultist Pascal Fenton L4. Yeah.
I guess the other person we could talk to is Lyman.
Didn't we do that? That was.
Oh yeah, we saw Lyman. Yeah, he said that they were trying to summon something in the Emperor home.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
So we know that was happening.
Yeah.
Emily Sargent as well in the library. I think we were encouraged to go there.
Yeah. Well, she might be able to tell us more about these pages.
Yeah, let's go to L4. Let's go talk to Pasquale here. Right, L4. Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Armitage has little good to say about the odious little man that is Pascal Fenton. That's rude. Occam's most celebrated occultist. He and Armitage have had a lifelong rivalry. Too much the showman and, some might argue, charlatan for most tastes. However, Pascal manages to make an impressive living. His mansion is tawdry and garish, decorated with a vast collection of the occult, including deformities in jars, unusual medical devices, and jewelry that evokes a satanic ritual. He invites you in cordially enough, but the smirk that appears on his arrogant face when he learns the reason behind your call raises his hackles. Oh, so now I'm being consulted on this matter? I would have thought that bumbling idiot Garrison would have come here himself rather than sending his protege. Biting your tongue, you explain the wound of the young lady and why the police would be concerned. Pascal realizes he's being a bit nasty and changes his tone. Trees? She went on and on about being attacked by trees, did she? I would suggest that you would have stumbled upon cultists of Shub Niggurath, also known as the Black Goat with 1,000 young. These are mutterings of certain dark rituals that, well, her followers use a sacrificial victim to host the spawn from unholy seed to infant. The wound on this woman may be that, or maybe she is just insane. The mad abound in Arkham, as I know you've heard from the stories. That would be a better guess. Pascal pauses, and you encourage and you encourage him to tell you more about Shub-Niggurath. He's a bit reluctant to share his knowledge, but continues. The spawn of Shub-Niggurath is sliced free from the flesh of the host and brought into this world to wreak whatever horrors it may. Investigate the witch cults in Arkham if you truly want to go down this path. It very well may be the lady who was attacked is delusional from some poison, or she may have made it up altogether. You ask about what the spawn is likely to do, if indeed being born into this world. Pascal bites his lower lip. For now, nothing. The spawn will take a number of years to fully mature. The texts speak of these creatures often attacking domesticated animals, particularly dogs and cats. Even in seed form, the animals can sense their evil presence. With this, you thank Pascal for his insights and leave.
Right. So
the animals are freaked out by the seeds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that explains
why the dog was growling at Edward, because he obviously had the seed at the time.
Cat going crazy. There's also a missing tabby cat. There's a reward for D. Pickman at South Parsonage Street. Perhaps he's seen something.
Stretching it, but I think
Yep. So it seems like the spawn. See, the whole ritual. Didn't they say they were meant to sacrifice a person who was? So didn't it fail?
No, I think the woman that was attacked was implanted with the seeds.
Right. I thought it said as part of the ritual they were meant to be sacrificed as well. So
yeah, I do remember hearing that too.
Yeah, don't know. Seems like something might have gone wrong.
Mm-hmm. So we're on the afternoon. All right. Okay. So what have we learned? Not much extra.
Yeah, not much, unfortunately. He just kind of confirmed our suspicions of Shub-Niggurath.
Sacrifice. Cats. Okay, you've got to remember the cats. Yeah. Cats and dogs. Okay.
I really want to find where Edward works, I feel like we don't have information.
Somewhere in Uptown. What was that? West Consul Street?
West Saltonstall Street. So you've got, I can list out the things on, was it west or east? Can't remember now.
Where did we find out about him? We have been to his house.
Yeah. We found out that he worked there from someone else, though. Boarding house.
The boarding house, yeah.
They told us that he worked somewhere, but I didn't get the note because I was reading it.
Hartwell, I did write down something. It's FC. Oh, I've just deleted all the notes.
Undo. And there's so many businesses along there, you can possibly tell.
Yeah.
We haven't got time for a door-to-door, so I'm not really sure how that's helpful.
So businesses in Uptown. There's no private companies in Uptown apart from Whitechapel Nursing Home.
Oh, there was a person who worked at an orderly hospital. Don't know.
Oh yeah.
That was one of our initial clues, wasn't it?
Yeah, we went to the hospital and.
Yeah, they weren't. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's how we found out about the brown mucus.
Yeah.
That was a great entry. Stores. Okay. Stores in U. There's Pearl's Lady Salon. There's U11. That's the only store.
I can't remember if it was west or east. Maybe it was east Salton. What entries have we got for that? That's in L, right?
L.
Yeah.
I thought. Oh, the murder was in Uptown, wasn't it?
Yeah.
L. Businesses in L. Okay. Have a look. doesn't look like L16, Antonio's Barbershop.
L16. That is on East Saltonstall Street.
Aha. That's the only business in L.
Really?
Yeah. You're going to use your last clue on a stab in the dark.
Absolutely. This is what this is all about.
Sometimes
You're
a shot
sure
in
that's
the
the
dark,
only
kids.
business? Yeah, all right, great. I'm going to go to L16 and have a terrible failure, almost certainly.
Antonio.
L4. There is no L16.
Oh.
Boom. Very sad.
Oh well.
Sorry, guys. It was worth a try.
We got 2 more places to go. Nothing.
Yeah.
I think B's Diner.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I think the Emperor Home is a good lead.
It's worth knowing what happens there. Yeah. It's your call anyway.
I thought it was. I thought it was your.
Oh, I don't know.
I think it's your go, Dan. Yep.
Is it okay? Where's the B's? Is it a hotel or what is it? B's
Diner.
Yeah.
That'd be under diner rather than stores, wouldn't it? Utilities, warehouses, clubs, private companies, other.
Surprised it's not another restaurant.
Hotels, medical, graveyards.
Diners. There you go.
There you go.
B9.
Oh, okay.
That's way up here.
9.
Yeah, it's right up here on the corner of East Kerwin and North Peabody Avenue.
Right. You've got the D. D9. Looks as though you missed the action by the time you arrive at B's Diner. A police wagon pulls away as you turn the corner. You spot Inspector Garrison standing with several uniformed officers inside the diner. The detective greets you with a nod. We got him. Thanks for the tip-off from Armitage. Edward Hartwell matches the description of of the man that Keene saw fleeing the scene of the attack last night. I placed Edward under arrest, but he hasn't been particularly cooperative, and things got violent. That said, I think he's going to end up in the sanitarium, to be sure. The nonsense. He was babbling. The overturned chairs and smashed crockery scattered around the diner tell the tale of his arrest. You ask Hartwell if anything suspicious in his possession. Perhaps he came in the diner with a small package, according to the waitress, but he met a man who called himself Victor. Gave that package to that gentleman. The waitress overheard Hartwell's companion saying that he had to rush off if he didn't miss his train. Garrison appears upset that Hartwell's contact evaded capture. My jurisdiction ends at the city limits. That package is someone else's concern now. With a twinkle in Garrison's eye, suggesting he is intending to follow the man with the package, he tips his hat and turns to speak to one of his officers. You realize that Garrison wouldn't leave a loose end like that to chance. Well, that was exciting.
So we have 2 possible suspects. I guess from that, it kind of like that little ending, the twinkling of Garrison's eye, kind of suggests that he knows more than he's leading on.
Yeah. Damn you, Garrison! Damn you!
Edward and Victor. We kind of knew, but then let's.
I think we're done, right? Are we done?
No, we got one more.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we've got one more place to go, and I think if we rush to the train station.
Is there a train station?
There has to be.
Has to be. To the station!
Yeah, I agree. Let's find out where that is. Transportation.
The B&M train station.
N38.
Oh,
see the train pulling off just as we get there.
Is it?
39.
There's this huge building here.
Oh, well, that makes sense. All right.
Right next to the Bancroft Arms.
Ah, the swine.
It's N. There we go.
Right.
Who's going to read it?
And 38.
No.
Oh, there isn't much to read, so. When you arrive at the station, the ticket officer tells you that you just missed this afternoon's train for Boston. The next service to Boston doesn't run until tomorrow morning. But it is the morning!
Scumbags! Okay, we ready for the solution? Ready for the question?
Let's see.
Okay. Here they are. Tapow. Ready.
Yep.
Okay. What was the name of the woman who collapsed in the street?
Hold on. It's Modine. Modine. I've written it down somewhere.
Is Marl Modine or something? Is it? Marley?
Mm-hmm. That sounds right.
Marla.
I'm done with it.
I did write it down, but I deleted it by accident. I think it's Marla.
Yeah. Yep.
Marla
Okay.
Modine.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
2. Who was the suspicious character that made a quick exit from the crime scene? Oh, we know who that was.
That was Mr. Hartwell.
Edward Hartwell. Oh, yeah. I'm going to eat your heart out. How did the woman come by her injury? Well, I think Edward stabbed her.
Yeah, with the ceremonial knife.
Or something exploded out of her, alien style.
Nah, there was definitely an incision. I think she was effectively like being sacrificed, right? So she was almost like unconscious, probably.
Okay. Trees were alive. What is the danger in the park?
Don't know. We didn't go there.
We stayed away.
Can I suggest the trees as an answer?
The tomato trees. They are a dark fruit.
I don't call them nightshades for nothing.
What was stolen from the museum? Yes, we know.
The tomato bowl.
Yes.
The tomato bowl. The birthing bowl. Idiots.
Was it a Chthonian birthing bowl or something horrible like that?
Is that something your OBGYN gives to you, or?
I think you meant to put it on your baby shower list.
Birthing. The tomato Chthonian birthing bowl. Okay. Right. What's the next question? Who was the out-of-town cultist of Shub Niggurath? Well, that's obvious.
That was Mr. Ingram.
What was his first name?
Victor.
Victor. How are we spelling Victor? Victor Ingram. Of course it was. 7. Why did the cat hiss at the wall? Oh. We don't know.
Why did the cat hiss at the wall?
On East Sultan Street. I'm going to say because the seed was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there was some mentioning of it.
It could sense the evil seed tomato bait thing.
It was there or nearby. So we found out enough about why animals would hiss, but we're just assuming about Sutton Street. because we never went to East Salton Street.
Yeah.
Who did the hospital workers see on the top floor of the Emperor home? That was the Twilight Lodge.
Yeah. And what was his name? The guy?
Carl Sanford.
That's it.
Barclay Rutger.
What was Barclay Rutger up to? Ooh, no idea. What was he up to? What?
I think he was
making tomato juice.
Yeah, maybe.
We could guess. I don't think there was anyone. Bartley Rutger. I think. Let's just say he was the orderly.
Yeah, we didn't.
He was eating a tomato sandwich.
Yes,
that's what it was.
Yep.
Eating tomato sandwich. What was the name of the late night graveyard visitor? Well, what?
What? What did we miss here?
Bartley Rutger. Let's say Edward. We'll say Edward.
Okay. Wait, maybe it's like Jedrick. He seems pretty suspicious and weird.
Yeah. Why did the late night graveyard visitor visit at night? What was he doing?
He's a vampire.
He was reading a book.
Yeah, we missed half of this. So I'm just going to put X's next to ones. So why would we go to the graveyard?
Yeah, well.
Why did the late night graveyard? What was he doing? I think he was digging up seeds.
Could be.
Oh yeah, that's a good call.
And what is the word scrawled all over the Emperor home?
Shub-Niggurath.
I thought, I'm going to blame Mad for taking us in a.
Sorry,
taking
man.
us away from the Emperor.
I feel like probably it would give you some clues as for the next, which is Perhaps I should have focused more on that.
It's all right. That's the game. That's
it. Interesting.
All right. Okay, so we've got an audio file for the solution, I think. So, what was the name of the woman? Martha Modine. We got 3 points for that.
Woo!
Three. Who was the suspicious character? Edward. We got 5 points for that.
Yes.
Yeah, 5. And then, how did she come to energy? The ritual extraction of the spawn of Shub-Niggurath.
Yeah.
We said Edward stabbed her with a ritual knife. I think we knew what was happening there.
I'm going to claim that was basically the same answer.
Yeah, clearly. What is the danger in the park? Oh, a tree that comes alive is 1 point. Or if you knew the name of the creature as a dark young, you get
3 points instead.
1 point for us. What was stolen? A ritual, the Cathoa birthing dish. 2 points. What? Just 2 points for that? That's rubbish. Who is the name of the outtown cultist? Got 2 points for that. Why did the cat hiss? Sensing the seeds.
Nice. Good call on that one.
But in Edward's basement.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's where they were, right?
That's what we
knew. Yeah.
It's close enough.
Yeah, okay. Who did they see? It was members of the cult Twilight Lodge. We got that. Yes.
And then the bit we didn't do.
Yeah.
What was Barclay? He was drinking with friends on the unvisited island. 3 points.
You were pretty close with the whole making.
With
Drink
what? Drink it, yeah. What was the name of the late night visitor? Thomas Ilsley. Why did the late night graveyard visitor visit at night? What was he doing? He suffers from insomnia and was conducting research for a book.
Mm.
What is the name of the worlds? Oh, see, yeah. Okay. So grand total 10, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11.
Woo!
Sanity penalty. If you visited Uptown Park, might lose a point. Oh well,
Yes.
that's all right. So we would have gained 3 and lost 1. So we would have only gained 1 point. Location visited. Count the number of locations you travelled, unless location did not gain. Deduct 1 point for every location you travelled beyond 7. What?
So 3, 6, 9, 12. So we did 13. So we minus 6, right?
1 didn't have a clue though.
Ah, okay. So
minus
12. So minus
5.
Right.
Okay. Well, it was positive. so the final score is 6. Is that? Final score 6. How are we going to solve it that quick? Final score 12 plus points, you win.
No.
Fewer than 12 points. Armitage realizes you are still an amateur and he offers you a bit of help on your next investigation. On your next investigation, you may visit 1 more location than Armitage without suffering a penalty. Okay. If you scored 18 plus points, you've done very well, but now you're convinced that you have attracted the attention of someone. Go to Investigation 2 Supplemental Encounter section and read entry 12.
18 points?
I know! What?
Are you having a laugh?
The danger, twists and turns will increase in Investigation 2. Okay.
2, so 3, 3, 5, 8, 10, 11. I'm just like counting up the total number of points. 11, 13, 15, 18, 21, 30. There's only 31 points there, so.
I guess you could do...
Did I count that up wrong? I did count that up wrong. 10.
You got 21, not 11.
21. Oh, we're all right. So we got 60.
I love that I didn't question it, despite that the first 3 numbers were 3.
What a job. Okay. Right. So we officially impressed him, but we didn't attract attention.
Okay.
So we won.
It's not too embarrassing.
Okay. Should we play? Well, it was pretty embarrassing. Where, maths and all that.
Do you want me to play the solution?
Yeah, shall we play on here as well, and then...
Mythos
playlist.
Solution to Grain of Evil. In the end.
Okay, you ready?
Simple mystery.
I'm ready.
Yep.
Mythos Tales. Solution to Grain of Evil. In the end, a simple mystery. Back in Armitage's office, you feel the legwork of the week was far from simple. Garrison, reclining near the open window in a leather wingback chair, gives you a look that implies he agrees with you. Garrison says, "There was the question of the woman's identity to wrestle with, Henry. That seems like the most pertinent fact that we are missing from the start." Armitage nods. "Indeed, that was forefront in my mind as well, Inspector. And once I had visited her room at Rennie's boarding house, I was able to put a name to our young lady, Miss Martha Modine." Garrison looks perplexed. "What on earth led you up French Hill to the Rennie house?" Armitage grins. "Alas, Inspector, so wrapped up were your officers in door-to-door solicitations over the identity of the young lady, they neglected her possessions. Her receipt from the boarding house clearly showed that she had intended to stay there for another month. This then led me to the fiend Hartwell and his lair, so clean and tidy." Garrison shrugs grudgingly at admission that a focus on the surrounding streets was the wrong call, given the circumstances. "Well, what happened to her then?" Why did that villain Hartwell attack the woman he professed to love? That, Inspector, perhaps we will never fully comprehend. Mr. Edward Hartwell had a love greater than the one he had professed to hold for Martha. There was a special bond between the two. But Edward was held thrall to dark powers beyond our world. The rantings he uttered upon his arrest were testament to that. His love for the unspeakable evil of Shub-Niggurath outweighed even his fondness for the lovely Miss Modine. He must have been planning it for some time, slipping one of those damnable seeds into Martha's food, where it wriggled her way into her chest cavity, there to grow and feed on her like a parasite. Martha was the unknowing host to this evil inside her. I must admit that Weasel Pasquale was of some use there, and it confirmed what I had learned from reading Albion in the library. A lingering memory of his feelings for Martha must have prompted Edward in remorse to redress her and lay her out to expire, rather than complete the prescribed sacrifice. It is likely that the secretions of the spawn, that foul mucus, stayed the blood flow for a short time and dulled the pain. As the influence of the spawn waned after its removal, it is clear Martha awoke and was able to stagger to the streets to try and find help. Garrison interjects suddenly. Why the attack in the park, then? Surely he was taking a risk in such a public place. Armitage pauses, then knowingly responds, It would seem the ritual needed to be overseen by a watcher, a dark young, Shub-Niggurath's blasphemous child. Where could one of these evil creatures hide in Arkham but in a heavily wooded park? He needed to conduct the ritual outside. What risk was there in the overgrown part of Uptown Park? With a slice and a snap of bones, he was able to free the unholy spawn and stored in the Chitota birthing dish that was taken from the museum. That is, until he could transfer it to more secure bindings and hand it off to his friend, Victor Ingram. It is a shame that you missed him, Inspector. Garrison nods at the suitcase next to Armitage's desk, the twinkle back in his eye. Ah, shame. Seems like you and I have a trip to make in the morning. Unfinished business.
There we go.
Mythos Tales Investigation.
Very nice. Thanks for sorting that out, Dan. That was absolutely brilliant.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. Although I don't believe Armitage just went to 7.
At least he didn't shove it in our face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right. Change.
Yeah. He's
all right.
Okay. Brilliant. Well, thanks for the game, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I'm looking forward to the next one.
Yeah. I shall sort that out momentarily.
Very cool.
So, does that look like a dark young to you on the map?
No, not at all.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Cool.
Alrighty.
All right. See you soon, man.
Bye.